A major data center project pitched as an economic game changer is also raising some environmental concerns and political division in Bessemer. As plans shift and the city considers changing to industrial zoning rules, some people who live nearby say they still don't know exactly what's coming or how it could affect their land, their water, and their neighborhoods. The I-Team's Valerie Bell will break down what's changed and what hasn't, and also what happens next. But first, we want to hear from you. Are data centers moving too fast for communities? Go ahead, scan that QR code right there on your screen to vote. And here's the I-Team's Valerie Bell in the meantime with more.
We first met Ron Morgan nearly a year ago, interviewing him on the property of the Jefferson County home he has shared with his wife for 15 years. His feelings about a data center have never wavered.
They're going to destroy what is probably the most pristine environment left in Jefferson County. They're going to just destroy it because they seem to think they're going to get all these tax dollars just flowing in.
The initial plans show 18 buildings, each 250,000 square feet. Plans have since shifted some, but Morgan says his concerns haven't.
They're going to crush the aquifer, they're going to ruin my groundwater, which means I can't stay here because you can't live without water. Everybody keeps saying, well, it's not going to be noisy. Well, I'm sorry, but when you crank up 400 3-megawatt generators, that's noisy.
City leaders announced additional land will be acquired, creating larger buffer zones between the data center campus and nearby homes.
We listened to the concerns of the citizens in that area, and we wanted to make sure that we were doing the right thing. So that's the reason why we went before the developer and asked them to purchase additional land.
This also improves coordination with the proposed Northern Beltline corridor.
As we've said all along, both projects can coexist, and we've now seen the city of Bessemer, AlDOT, and the developer all acknowledge that the Northern Beltline not only is a route that's there, but obviously that it's important to preserve.
But not everyone is convinced.
The intent that we've seen in the press release that the city put out sounds pretty good, but they're also saying, it's to avoid environmental impacts, which, for the past year, the developer's been saying there won't be any environmental impact. So, especially in this case, I'm kind of skeptical until I see something otherwise.
At the city's council meeting earlier this week, we asked President Pro Tem Chester Porter about an updated map of the plans. As of now, that map has not been made public.
We are in plans of having a huge town hall meeting for this, so at that particular time, we will have those items there to show the citizens and the citizens here in Bessemer.
Just last week, Mayor Kenneth Gully used his virtual State of the City address to double down on support, calling Project Marvel one of the most transformative developments in the city's and state's history. He emphasized a, quote, anticipated $14.5 billion in economic impact.
Many people have opposed, but a far greater number of our residents have expressed excitement. This is the nature of progress. Change is inevitable.
But even inside city government, not all leaders are on board. Council member Cleo King issuing a statement opposing large-scale data centers in Bessemer, saying the city should not become what he calls a dumping ground for developments that prioritize corporate convenience over community well-being.
I think the biggest thing is how unimportant I feel in this whole decision-making process. I've never been a part of something that feels so subversive and secretive, and so even though we've been voicing our concerns and trying to get some attention, I feel like we've been marginalized.
Bessemer resident Heidi Kopel isn't alone. Across Alabama, data centers are drawing questions, scrutiny, and discussion. Rumors rumble in Childersburg. Columbiana is moving forward on a much smaller project, decisions that fell under the last administration. And Birmingham leaders are considering a temporary pause on new facilities. Meanwhile, back in Bessemer, the city is looking at amending its industrial zoning ordinance.
We have a lot of industrial districts here in the Marble City of Bessemer, so we're just going through our ordinance, just updating them. And this was one particular item that we saw that needed to be addressed.
Council is expected to vote on that after a public hearing on March 3rd. City Attorney Aaron Killings Jr. said it could include Project Marvel, but was not aimed at it. However, that change would shape how large future industrial buildings in Bessemer can be, including how tall structures could go if they're set farther from neighbors. And for those watching Project Marvel's plans evolve, every detail matters.
Have you bought the 900 acres? Are you going to move any buildings? If you're going to move some, how many are you going to move? How far are they going to be? Those are questions that we have that we still don't have the answers to.
Rock Mountain Lakes Landowners Association President David Haverin says he's open to hearing about the updated plans.
If they were to move them all to the 900 acres and make this 700 acres over here a wildlife refuge or something like that, people are kind of interested in that. If they're going to use the 750 and the 900, then no, we're not interested in that.
While others, like Morgan, say there's no version they're willing to accept.
I don't want it around anybody. I don't want anybody to lose what they have because the city seems to think they need a data center. The city owns places they can put this. They own industrial parks that are already zoned for this.
In Bessemer, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 I-Team.